Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Google Pixel 7 and we're going to be comparing it up against the OnePlus Nord N30. But if it's your very first time to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through if you're new. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. The first thing I wanted to start off is what comes inside each package. And on the Google, you're going to be getting some nice recyclable materials. This is actually cardboard with a sticky surface. On the OnePlus device, you're going to get this packet at the top, which is going to pack all of your information, your welcome manual. You get a rewards card right here from OnePlus. You're also going to get some other literature right here on the bottom with your SIM removal tool and a letter. And it's going to also provide you with some stickers in here as well as your 50 watts fast charging brick, which is definitely something that I really like from OnePlus. And it's also going to give you your red and white charging cable. Now on the Google Pixel 7, you're going to be getting your connector for your Type A, and it's going to actually be allowing you to use different devices with it. So that's kind of cool. And then they also give you the Type C to Type C charging cable with the user guide inside of this small little packet. And then they're also going to be providing you with the literature and the SIM tool. When it comes to the overall price of the Google Pixel, you can actually get it for about $480. And when it comes to the OnePlus device, you can actually get it for $300. So they're going to be reasonable when it comes to the price point. Both have a glossy finish on the back of each device, which offer unique designs, because you're going to see that you get that lamplight style camera setup on the OnePlus N30. And then you're going to get that ledge style camera setup on the Pixel 7. This color is actually going to be that seafoam green, and it has like a gold material, like gold color on the sides of it with a metal railing. And so it actually feels pretty premium because they're going to be giving you a glass back aluminum frame and the Victus on the front for premium glass. And so that's going to be another thing that I like about it. It's also got a gorgeous display that we're going to get into in a little bit more detail. And so on the bottom, you can see the nice premium buttons, which is the volume rocker. And what they did is they reversed it to the actual, these guys kind of like mess around with the button placement compared to other smartphones. And so this is just the power button on the right side with the fingerprint attached to it. And then on the right side of this guy, you're actually getting the power button up top, which is a little bit different. You do get facial recognition on both of these, because when I put my face up, it's going to unlock on this guy. And then for this guy right here, if I lock it and I unlock it again, it has that the facial ID worked before I could even put my fingerprint in. So it's got extremely quick fingerprint and facial recognition technology. And the OnePlus is extremely fast when it comes to the fingerprint sensitivity as well. So taking a look at the back of both devices, you can see that the OnePlus is already scuffing a little bit from each touch that you put on there. So the plastic reflective material that they're using on here is extremely fingerprint prone. And so it's going to get smudged up and it's going to look a little bit scuffed up, like it's not new or something like that. When you're using it for a long period of time, you're going to notice that the fingerprints just gather. So you will need a microfiber case when you're using it. So I'm just talking about the main materials of this device. Just it does feel nice in the hand because it's got that curved bottom on the sides right here, rounded corners, and then it's easy to pick up off of a surface because it's got that squared off shape to it. But it's just a really large display on here that is very nice to look at. And on the Pixel, you're actually getting that that ledge design right there. So if it's laying on the back like this, it's easy to pick up. It's a little bit slippery when it comes to the material, so that's why I like to use a case on here. But when it comes to the overall materials, it feels really premium with the glass back and aluminum edges. 197 grams of weight versus 195. So they're both sized differently, but they both weigh similar. So very minimal bezels, and you can see it does have the punch hole cut out on the front of each phone, making it look really, really nice. And so you can see that the pull down screens look kind of different, because you can see that the OnePlus has the volume toggle on the bottom and Google actually put it back up to the top But if you pull down again, right there, you can see if you pull to the side, you get your little widgets inside of the navigation menu. And so both of these devices are going to have premium settings and features, but you can see that that display on the OnePlus looks really huge compared to the Google Pixel. But the Google Pixel will be brighter, especially in outdoor situations at 1000 nits. It's going to be very good to look at. And the OnePlus is still visible outdoors as well. And so when it comes to the displays, it's the AMOLED panel that you're getting on the Google Pixel, and you're getting the IPS LCD on the OnePlus. And so it's going to be 6.7 inches on the OnePlus versus 6.3. And so they both have a nice screen to body ratio, because 87.1 for the display ratio on the OnePlus, and then we're getting 84.9 display ratio on the Google. And so, you know, they both look extremely good to look at when it comes to the overall colors and the design. And so the displays are similar as well. They're both 1080 by 2400 and 20 by 9 aspect ratio, with 416 pixels per inch on the Pixel and 391 on the OnePlus. So, you know, high density displays on both, but obviously the AMOLED is going to be a lot brighter. And so 90 hertz on the Pixel as well. So you're going to get the 90 hertz refresh rate on there, and we're going to get the 120 hertz refresh rate on the OnePlus. So if I go into the display settings for both of these devices, I'm going to show you real quick how it looks on the display. And so let me just show you guys real quick once I find it on the OnePlus. And let me just, the N30 right here, if I go into display, it's going to actually show the refresh rate at high, which is going to equate to 120. And then if I go down on the Pixel, it's going to give me a nice, this thing just, it glides when you're using it. I think I actually have it on 60, just by the way the screen is moving and stuff like that. Yeah, I have it turned off. So now you can get that smooth refresh rate on both. Let me make sure extra dim's not on, because I know that the Pixel has that feature. So if you have sensitive eyes or something, you can turn that extra dim thing on. But I do kind of turn that on from time to time just because it gets so bright. But, you know, both displays look absolutely gorgeous. So I definitely think that's a solid feature. Obviously, the side-mounted fingerprint sensor on the OnePlus, and then that super fast fingerprint and facial recognition for both of these. And then the OnePlus has that tap to wake and tap to lock. And I know that the Google Pixel has the tap to wake or whatever. So if you tap it, it actually just works when the screen is dim. You can find the fingerprint with it. So it's going to always have that nice always on display. And so the OnePlus won't have the always on display. All right, guys, so let's do a microphone test. And I'm basically need to test out the speaker quality. So let's listen to a song real quick on the OnePlus. And the volume rockers are actually going to be on the left side of the OnePlus right here. And so this is going to be this one, the, you know what I mean, Google Pixel 7. So I say that both of these devices actually offer extremely clean audio when it comes to like the audio experience. It's definitely extremely clean. It's just that the OnePlus is going to be a lot bigger and to hold in the hand. So I just want to mention that it just feels a lot more premium, and I like how this feels because you have that support right here with the camera when you're holding it in the back. You could kind of do that with the OnePlus, but it's off to the side, whereas the Pixels is always there no matter where you put your finger. so it has a good support for if you didn't want to use a case, but it is slippery though. But it is a nice one-handed device, and so I kind of wanted to jump inside of the cameras on both of these devices. But they both have Android 13 with some really good specs when it comes to the the processing speeds. We'll get into that in a second, but we're getting a 108 megapixel camera, a 2 megapixel macro, and a 2 megapixel on the OnePlus, and a 50 megapixel camera that is 25 millimeters wide, and a 12 megapixel for ultra wide. And then you're getting the those two cameras there. So the as far as the front facing cameras or whatever, they're both going to be pretty good. So yeah, it's a 16 megapixel on the front of the OnePlus, and then a 10.8 megapixel on the Google Pixel. So when it comes to taking photos on both of these things for the cameras, let me just show you some of the features that we're going to be getting. And if I jump into the front facing camera and I go into portrait, this is just going to give you an idea of what it's going to be looking like when I'm talking. A lot more deeper blacks just because of how it looks on the display on the Pixel. And if I look at the photo right here, they both you get that computational photography on the Google. So one of the things that's going to happen is it's going to make the image just look very realistic and true to natural tones and stuff. So it's going to seem more realistic when it comes to the camera on the Google Pixel, when I'm just taking a shot on there. And then when it comes to like the rear cameras, like I said, you're getting the 50 megapixel on the Google and the 108 on the OnePlus. And so if I flip them around, you actually get 4K on the front, 4K video on the front and rear of the Google, which is going to make it stand out, because if you click right here, you have full settings. You have speech enhancement, you have 4K 60 and 30. Full HD. It doesn't really get hot at all right now. Both phones are very cold to the touch right now while I'm talking. And so if I go into the video settings for the OnePlus, it's not giving me 1080, just 1080 and 720. So the Google Pixel is going to definitely have the advantage when it comes to taking videos and even photos. So I just want to mention that it will have the advantage. So a portrait shot right here. The focus was extremely quick on the Pixel, and it's a little bit slower on the OnePlus. So you will have to, there you go. So if I show you this shot, the Pixel actually zooms in a lot more, and you can see that I get blurry shots right there. There was a blurry shot on the OnePlus, so you just got to make sure your hand doesn't shake too much. But a lot more detail on the Pixel when it comes to taking photos when I'm just pointing and shooting. So let me just do that one more time. The Pixel told me to back up a little bit, and then I took the shot, and then the OnePlus. All right, so now let me see, because both should have performed. Now they performed differently. Now the OnePlus took a better shot, and the Pixel took a less. It wasn't as focused on the face as the. So it just depends, like basically, like how still your hand is. You have to make sure that when you're taking the photo that it's actually zoomed in on the object. And so just keep in mind those two factors when it comes to taking photography on both of these devices. All right, guys, so on the Google Pixel, we actually have the Tensor 2. And the phone sometimes does get warm using this chip. So the camera unit is a little bit hot, but right now it's on smooth and extreme. And it's not very hot, it's just a little bit warm, like right now when I'm using the device. So yeah, it does feel really smooth on this device with the Tensor G2. It also has a Mali G710 as well. And yeah, it just feels really smooth. And we're getting 128 gigabytes of internal storage. And we're also getting 8 gigabytes of RAM. So it just feels really good on here as far as the gameplay. Now touching it on the back, it is a little bit warm near the camera. It's like a little bit hot, but I don't know. That's just expected when you're using a flagship device. But this one does feel really, really warm right here where the camera is. So I just want to mention that it does get a little bit warm when you're playing games. So you might want to use a gaming holder or whatever, so you don't like, you know, get hot hands when you're using it, because that does get annoying after some time. So definitely better graphics, a better display, and a better screen on the Google Pixel, because you can see right here we only get ultra and smooth, and so the Google Pixel is cooling off. It does feel a lot cooler now that it's been a few minutes. And so yeah, the graphics feel really good here on the Snapdragon 695. It just feels really clean right now when I'm using it. And so in addition to that, we are getting the Mali, you know, the Mali chipset on here as well.
Killing spree for the blue team.
And so yeah, definitely this one actually has the Adreno 619, and it also does have 8 gigabytes of RAM with 128 gigabytes of internal storage. So they both have that 8 gigabytes of RAM. And so you can actually get virtual memory on the OnePlus, which adds an additional 6 to the 8. And so it's going to give you a pretty decent experience there.
Killing spree for the blue team. I need a weapon. The blue team is in the lead.
Yeah, so really good gameplay on the OnePlus N30. It just feels extremely smooth right now while I'm gaming. 120 hertz, 1080 panel on here. So definitely a really nice experience overall on the OnePlus. It does have a nice feel to it. It doesn't feel like it's lagging behind. So it's offering some really good graphics and a clean, crispy display. The display is really bright. All right, so 4 in a row right there. But if you're still here, just type down below in the comment section. I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. But we're going to just do an app opening test, and then I'm going to wrap up the video. So Amazon, that was this Tensor 2. Let's go into AliExpress. That was the Tensor 2. Let's go into, I don't know, calculator. 1, 2, 3. That looked like the OnePlus right there with the calculator. So I'm going to give it to the OnePlus right there. Let's do Meta. 1, 2, 3. That was the OnePlus. Let's do, I don't know, Google. Let's try the phone app. 1, 2, 3. That was the Google Pixel. And let's do the Bible app on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And that was the Tensor 2. So the Tensor 2 is pretty snappy when it comes to the overall opening apps, but the 695 from Snapdragon actually keeps up. But hopefully you guys did find this video helpful. Let me know in the comment section which device you think is actually a better value. I mean, you're getting NFC on both of these things. They're also going to have some pretty decent cameras, but you're getting that better recording on the OnePlus. The Tensor 2 does heat up when you game and use the camera for extended periods of time. You might have to lower the graphics if you don't want it to, you know, get too hot. But right now it's pretty cool to the touch. It feels very warm. Well, it was warm when I was gaming, but the OnePlus didn't really get warm at all. So I just kind of want to mention that. But overall, you're getting a really nice design on both of these devices. The OnePlus does have fingerprints, and you can see the logos are in the middle, and they just have really different designs. But I definitely think that they both look extremely premium when it comes to the overall build quality. But let me know what you guys think about both of these devices, and if you're still here, just type down below. I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. And I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and help beat the YouTube algorithm. Okay, I'll check you guys later. Peace.